Hello and welcome to I Just Can't Right Now. My name is Levi Thomas. I hate card games. Today I have a new brew of my own creation. I'm calling it Instant Noodles. It's basically an Emrakul cheat deck, but there's some extra spice to it. That sounds dumb. The original version of this deck actually looked different, and I've messed around with a few different versions of it. The idea behind the deck was you played 4 of Sea's Claim, 4 of Spreading Seas, and 4 of this card, Convincing Mirage, which also lets you turn your opponent's lands into islands. I just have to say that I love the art on Convincing Mirage. Life has many doors, Ed boys. And then you basically turn your opponent's lands into islands, and then you boil them away, or you Boiling Seas them away. Kill maybe 2-3 lands, and then once your opponent's that far back, you just hit them with a Polymorph Emrakul plan or a Through the Breach Emrakul plan, and it's over. The issue with that is that Convincing Mirage is actually bugged, so you can't run it in Magic Online. It turns whatever land you put it on into a swamp regardless of what you choose. Instead, what I've done is I've put in Soul Artifact, which on its own is actually not bad, especially if you get it on like a Darksteel Citadel. It's like a turn 2 indestructible 5/5. You can also put it on a Pentad Prism once you've used up the mana from the Pentad Prism. And then you polymorph it into Emrakul. It's actually not that bad of a plan, because if you ensoul the Darksteel and then you polymorph it, it actually doesn't get rid of the 5/5 because it's indestructible. So you get basically a free Emrakul, and then the Emrakul hits them, or if you Through the Breach the Emrakul, and then you play Ensoul on the Darksteel Citadel, you can punch in that last 5 points of damage. We still have 8 different ways to turn our opponent's lands into islands. And then you have Boil and Boiling Seas to really just kind of fuck them up. This is also a really good main deck card against just random blue decks. Like, you can just completely take Merfolk out of the game, you can take Delver out of the game. Pretty much any control deck running blue gets completely stuffed by Boil. So it does give us the deck restriction of not wanting to run any islands. So our deck is running Shivan Reefs and Spire Bluff Canal and Temple of Epiphany. We're also running Fairy Conclave because you can polymorph it. Pentad Prisms are to assist in doing the polymorph all on one turn, or doing it early Through the Breach, because you can Pentad Prism and then activate your Fairy Conclave and polymorph it on turn 4. As for the sideboard, I found that this has been the best configuration so far. Our deck does really good against stuff like Tron, Eldrazi, Valakut, Nykthos decks, like anything that's like trying to get fast mana, or, you know, fuck around with their lands. We're pretty good against them. So our main concern is just getting rushed down by aggro very quickly. For Pyroclasm to just take care of a bunch of small threats. Threads of Disloyalty can also take one of their threats, and then you can polymorph said threat. A couple of Echoing Truths. Tormod's Crypt for Storm and other graveyard-centric decks. And then Pithing Needle against any planeswalkers that are kind of troublesome. I'm also going to take your guys' advice. Some of you were saying that you would like to see me run the decks through a few more games, maybe make the videos just a little bit longer. I'll go ahead and do that. I'm probably going to run it through 2-3 modern queues just so it gets a pretty fair run. Just be prepared for the video to be boring. So best case scenario, we start by boiling some water, and then we put in our instant noodles and hit them in the face with a giant spaghetti monster. Worst case scenario, our stomach starts hurting from all of the MSG. Spell Snare? No. Opt. Okay. Well, my opponent opted to do that in the most annoying way possible, so looks like we're playing against control. You're looking to get 3 or 4 lands killed off the boil. Usually sets them back far enough. I figure I'll also cut in some more of my thought process. Try and make the videos a little bit more focused on Magic, but I mean, who really even plays Magic anymore? I'm gonna go ahead and try and Sea's Claim the Celestial Colonnade. We'll see if he counters it. Okay, he's gonna snap negate. So this is actually really good for us. Basically, we get to Izzet Charm the negate, and then boil every one of his lands away, and that should be GG's. Feels pretty good. He's getting pretty lucky on the draws. I'll be honest, I have actually the last maybe 3 or 4 times queued up against a red, white, blue control deck, and I am so fucking tired of playing this deck. We'll find out. If he has Bolt here, I'm gonna attack and see if he bolts it. Okay, he does. Never mind, we're probably still dead. Seize claim. Okay, well that's it. That's a heartbreaker. When you boil away 4 of your opponent's lands and he just draws 5 lands in a row. I mean, I can really see why you would play control in Magic if you're playing like Standard or something like that, or I don't know what people run in Pauper, but in a format like an Eternal format where there's so many fun combos to play, the fact that you're running the most obnoxious control deck you possibly can says something about you as a person. Pinolius. I like how the most powerful creature in Magic is just a big jellyfish looking thing. Who was the first guy to pee on a jellyfish sting? And how did he know that would work? He was just like, this might sound crazy. I don't know why, but I feel like if we pee on it, it's gonna feel better. Oh, that actually resolved. I'm shocked. So if we draw a land, we just basically win next turn. Shit, man. I feel like we gotta try it. He didn't have a counter spell for the boil, so... Bro, I'll do it. Damn it, dude. Does he have a reman? If he has a mana leak, I'm gonna cry. Negate. Holy shit. Fucking hate control decks. He's got 4 lands. He's just gonna cryptic me out of the game now. Why is this an instant speed card? Who knows? Keep setting him back 2 lands. I just keep giving this guy turns to get back into it. Temple of Epiphany. At least that lets me look and see. Get out of here. This is so frustrating. Through the Breach wins. In Soul, thank God there's something. I think we polymorph it. If he plays a Detention Sphere, I'm actually just gonna quit. Thank God. When I first heard Elon Musk's name, I thought it was a cologne brand. Opts to negate that. Okay, that's fine. Logic knots us for 3. Disdainful Stroke. Okay, there's another polymorph. Sure. We'll try it again. Does this one work? For 4 this time. Does it work? Oh my God. I can't, dude. I fucking... Holy smokes. Lamage back at it again. I played this guy earlier. He's playing fucking blue-red Delver. So, great. Another fucking blue-red control deck. The art on polymorph is insane, too. This looks like he's getting, like, tased. Because the thing about tasers is that they don't work when you're on that much PCP. He could have just as easily Vendilion clicked this button here to put it at my draw step so that he could get all my shit before I played anything. Oh, never mind. Reds of Disloyalty could be decent against like Snapcaster. I know this guy's running Delver as well, so I don't mind having those in there. Cool, so now we have Polymorph Spell Pierce next turn. Okay, it does have the Dispel. I think I'll just go ahead and boil now, just because it's going to take him off a lot of tempo. He knows we have Izzet Charm. I don't know why he's attacking like this. Like, oh, well, alright. Bang. I would love to not have to play against a control deck again. And burn. Okay. Well, I got my wish. Here's another kind of nifty thing about the Pentad Prism in Soul combo. Is that you can just do this and then Soul your guy. And then you just have a 5/5 against aggro. It's like really good. Okay, well, we get another land. So he's just probably going to bolt this, but that's honestly totally fine. We're saving a lot of life here. 5 to be exact. And we get rid of his guy. So another win. That's actually not bad. If he's stuck on lands, I like that actually. Monastery Swift Spear. I'm going to go ahead and just Izzet Charm that. And yeah, we'll put that on top. I like that. Spreading Seas your mountain. I feel pretty good against burn, oddly enough. Think I'll wait until he plays his third land so we can do Spreading Seas, and then we can boil it. Or maybe we just boil it. Yeah, let's just boil it. Why not? Being 4 lands ahead against burn seems really good. This matchup seems like shockingly bad for burn. And we win. And we are back with the deck. We went 2-1. The one loss coming to a pretty dedicated control deck with as much gas as they wanted and destroyed Blue-Red Delver and burn pretty easily. I definitely think there's a lot of potential in this deck. I could see it being even better, possibly, with the convincing mirages if they fix that bug online or even in paper if you want to play it that way. Although this version with the Insouls and the Izzet Charms had a little bit maybe more flexibility and ability to kind of interact with the board. I mean, honestly, the deck makes sense as to why it would be good. I feel like when you put a generally focused early game plan together with some sort of quick way to end the game, you usually have a pretty decent modern deck. So it's also not all that expensive as well. Like the Emrakuls and the Through the Breaches are definitely the biggest money cards in the deck. Everything else is relatively cheap. Even the land base doesn't run any fetches or shocks. I apologize for those of you who might have found this video a little bit dry. I just didn't really have too much to say, but I built this deck and I thought it was really cool, so I hope you enjoyed that. If I had to make any changes to the deck, again, maybe I would possibly put in a copy of Swiftfoot Boots, if not to make the deck a little bit faster, just for the idea of Emrakul putting on little tiny boots so that she can run in and kill your opponent. I don't know why, that sounds funny to me. Anyways, be sure to look out for twitch.tv/IHateCardGames. I'm on there streaming a bunch of random shit fairly often. If you want more of me, that's where you'll find me. Thanks for watching. I hate card games.